So, in principle, okay, it's got quite the delay. Now it's a black screen. Okay. Now can I share this? Yeah, can I just share the URL if it's set to private? Or probably. It's just not publicly listed. Top right, share. Oh, there, share. Yeah, okay. And then there's the video link. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll just. Oops. Where is it? There. Yeah, I posted under. Why is Discord acting weird? I don't know. It's under VC text chat. Yeah, you can see both the palette and the main window, I hope. I mean, you should. I mean, I can see what's on the screen. Outpost ramps. You mean to the compound ramps on oil flow? To the right actual compound area. No, those I didn't change. I would really like to change them, but it's Blizzard who screwed them up, so... Yeah, I really don't like how the inverted ones look, but nothing to do. Okay. No, those are the only ones I didn't change. I changed the dirt drums on the left to use remastered tiles, because those were still my old ramp templates, and also I actually wanted to adjust the terrain levels to fit the compound ramps on the right, and then on the right I made all the ramps to sand ramps. So and I changed the sandy sunken pit ramp terrain as well. But yeah. Okay. Let's close this map for now and actually load the right one. Maps. I guess you can't see this window, but I'm not showing. Oh, I accidentally disconnected on Discord. Yes. He said he would come, right? I mean, okay, what's this now? Okay, Tundra. 093 is the newest. Okay. Let me see. Okay, I have to reload that one. Okay. It's a bit problematic that can actually make this smaller. Okay. It's a bit problematic that everything in STM draft is a separate window. Not sure how to properly set that up, so I don't have to redo it every time. Yeah, that's screwed up again. So, oh, Jojo is there, Eidolon is there. Yeah, let's wait another, or let me check. Did anyone general? No. Show map talk. Mineral said it's a date, so I guess he. Yeah, let's wait another 5 minutes or so. Yeah, me too. Let's get the newest version of this one. I mean, we could do some Q&A kinda stuff if we have time, but yeah. I set up my own YouTube channel. No, under my name. Freakling map making something. So, yeah, this is the map. Yes. Context. Okay. No, I think that's quite enough. Was a good introduction, thank you very much. So, I already activated the important stuff, which is of course our pathfinding regions overlay. And I think none of you have done anything of it, any pathfinding fixing before, right? I only did it with minerals one-on-one, as far as I can remember. So, oh, everyone else is muted, okay. That's why I can't hear anyone. Can you guys just, like, say something that you're there or something? Okay. It's alright if you ask questions. You probably don't really know what you can see here, I guess. None of you have done this before, right? You weren't part of the SDPL sessions, for example. So, As a map maker, why should you care? Because BroodWar pathfinding is famous and infamous for being very clunky, unreliable, error-prone, with all kinds of weird things that can happen, and there's a lot of stuff that you should have an eye on. One thing is, of course, that workers have to travel to mine and return their resources, and doing that they follow normal pathfinding, and because that follows certain rules and can lead to certain inefficiencies, it's important to adjust the pathfinding accordingly so workers can do their work properly, basically. There are also some other can I give you some rough statistics on that for a moment? So what you can actually achieve without much hassle is having your mineral mining on a single worker saturation that is exactly 1 worker per mineral patch, which is a good guideline, basically. Generally above that, inefficiencies get less, or at least the inefficiencies directly related to pathfinding, most of them at least, get less, because more time is lost with worker migration. That is, workers changing the patch they're mining from, because the patch they try to mine from is already occupied. So that the more workers you have, unless you have actually triple saturation, that is 3 workers per patch, which guarantees so that you have always mining a worker from every patch, you'll get at least some amount of worker migration. That's of course the reason the time workers spend migrating, they don't spend gathering resources or moving to resources or returning resources. So that's why mining gets more inefficient, of course, the higher the saturation is, if you are once you are above single saturation. So up to single saturation, it's solely pathfinding that determines efficiency. And yeah, after that, well, there are also bugs that you have to have an eye on that lead to bad worker migration, that can reduce efficiency later, because if workers migrate behind the mineral line, then of course they have to go all the way around and then all the way around on the way back. It's like a mana pylon, basically. So that's very inefficient. Apart from that, with more migration, the percentage of bad worker pathing on the total efficiency, of course, decreases as the saturation increases. Yeah, that's one. Yeah, there are 2 very serious bugs associated with pathfinding. The one is vortex bugs, which are the bugs where units actually get stuck on terrain, and and stacked on top of each other. So everyone knows the one on Fighting Spirit 12 o'clock, for example. I'll explain that if we encounter it. The other thing that is the Reaver gem, which is positions where a Reaver can't fire at full range into certain directions. I'll also explain that certainly we'll have some of those to fix when we work on the map. But what I actually wanted to start it with is the basics. Basics being Could we just actually go through how the game determines these regions, because that becomes important later on. Okay, let's go through this. Here's the left sidebar. It has all these nice overlay settings. The first one we need to activate is pathfinding regions. On top of here. Then right now I have activated impassable, or also known as unwalkable. So if I deactivate this one for a moment, or like we won't need this one later, this is just to show for now. Anyway, the dark gray overlay tiles are the ones that are, or mini tiles actually, are the ones that aren't walkable. So that means ground units basically can't overlap. Can't overlap these. And then I've activated down here the mostly walkable overlay. And I'll explain what that is first. So, first thing to understand is these pathfinding regions are not part of the map file. They aren't explicitly saved with the map, but what they are is they are generated at game start. If you play BroodWar, you'll notice that at the very start of the game there's a short delay before the game actually starts and you can control your units. And there's a couple of things the game does during that period. Of course, it places, in a melee game, it places the starting units, like your resource depot and your workers and your overlord as your Zerg. Manages things like initial creek spread, initial lava, stuff like that. And then it does some terrain classification basically, and based on that generates these pathfinding regions, which then remain constant during the game. And the reason why the game works that way is that it saves resources to have a coarse grid of pathfinding regions pre-calculated just once at game start, and then have pathfinding run over that, because pathfinding is essentially a search algorithm that has to proceed over all these pathfinding regions. And you could do that on a tile basis or even on a mini tile basis, but of course you would have to process a lot more data then. So it's partly pre-processed pre-game, and then you only have to actually run the actual pathfinding over this rather limited amount of locations that are there. There's actually a hard limit how many locations, how many pathfinding regions a map can have. If that's exceeded, then you get what, then instead of opening the map, the game will crash and give you what is known as the nooks and crannies bug, or nook and crannies crash, which is called that way because the message which is why it can't be processed. And the reason for little terrain edges like this, for example, if you have many of those, you get many small regions to fill in those little nooks and crannies, and then you exceed the maximum region count of the map, and that then just throws an error message. So yeah, it's another safeguard, I guess, because too many regions again would mean that performance could not be guaranteed, at least on the hardware specs that the game was originally made for. It's just the same as why there are sprite limits, unit limits, weapon sprite limits, most noticeably the infamous Valkyrie not firing bug. So sorry, I can't. Your